With the reveal of the next Hearthstone expansion, the Boomsday project, the r/custom Hearthstone subreddit has been hard at work creating Boomsday themed cards. New cards introduced in the trailer like Magnetic, Omega, Projects, and Legendary Spells have inspired many fan-made creations. Most of them just memes. I'm going to guide you through some of the best Boomsday themed cards while the hype is fresh, and then I'll do a part 2 of this series once all of the cards have been released right before the expansion drops. Without further ado, let's begin with a truly innovative card. We know based off of the revealed legendary rogue spell that these legendary spells are going to have a big impact on the game, and that's why I think this Druid legendary spell could change the class forever. Innovate is a 0 mana spell where you gain 2 mana crystals this turn only. Think of the card Counterfeit Coin from Rogue. It was a 0 cost spell that granted you 1 mana crystal for that turn only. This is basically double the value. I could see Innovate being used for drawing with Gadget Sand like Counterfeit Coin was used in Rogue, but I think the real trick to this card would be to coin out early 3 drops on turn 1. This way you could gain Wind Fury on turn 2 and kill your opponent on turn 4. It's definitely a super creative card. I love the flavor for Druid, and I hope the real Druid legendary spell can be at least half as powerful. Alright, next up we have Mecha Rager, 3 mana 5/1 mech with Magnetic. Future Jake here. I actually recorded this before upgradable Framebot came out, so I'm glad things worked out. But the info here still applies, so back to me. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for Ragers. They're like the kid at school lunch that always ate the same sandwich with that weird bread, and I was one of those kids. It's not their fault they were put into that situation, but you're also never going to trade away your Lunchables for bread covered in bird seeds. So while Ragers were given these terrible stat lines out of love, they almost never see play. Blizzard's shown some effort though, giving a Rager stealth and making it somewhat viable in Arena, but I think Mecha Rager could have a legitimate spot in the meta. If you already have a mech out on the board that can attack, then this Mecha Ranger becomes a 5/1 buff, which is a lot of damage. It's 3 mana for 3/3 stats like a smaller version of Blessing of the Kings, but the distribution of the stats allows you to deal 5 additional damage with this card. And this is the only case where the usual terrible stats of a Rager actually makes the card better. Just like that weird bread gave me the energy I needed to do well in school. Thanks, Mom. It really depends on how many mechs and magnetic cards they plan to release with this expansion, but if there's an adequate amount, a card like Mecha Ranger would see play. Next up is Omega Companion, a 3 mana spell for Hunter where you craft a Zombeast, and if you have 10 mana crystals, summon it. I like this because it's pretty bad but still playable before 10 mana, and then absolutely insane when you reach 10 mana and satisfy the Omega requirement. Hunters don't usually have the gump to get to 10 mana, so having this card's reward be so good can help incentivize that. I also like the idea of just picking the best stats possible and then making an absolute beast card. Get it? Beast? Alright, well if you want some actual good Build-A-Beast entertainment, check out this video I did last year. It's good. Up next is Boom Jr., 3 mana 3/3 neutral legendary that has the battle cry, magnetize a 1/1 Boombot to every friendly mech. And this is a Boombot if you don't already know. So yeah, this would be pretty good. But I think it also fixes a key issue that its papa, Dr. Boom, had. You know what, Dr. Boom? Don't look at me like that. Like no son of yours has piercings and you won't be seen in public with me, even if it's at your grandson's baseball game. Deep breaths. Dr. Boom was just good in every deck. Late game in some aggro, curve on tempo, and anytime in control. You could probably guess where I'm going with this. Boom Jr. only really works in mech decks, so this means most likely just Paladin, Warrior, or Hunter. Restricting this card to certain decks makes it more unique and thus less annoying because you aren't seeing this in every game. It also means you can specifically increase the power level of just these decks and not risk making another already powerful deck better. If mechs are already good at the beginning of the expansion, then Boom Jr. would overpower mechs, but if they need a boost, then this could really help out. Whatever Boom related card ends up being printed, I'm sure Dr. Boom won't be proud of his son. At least he never tells me he is. Not even a text. Next up is Netherstorm Infector. Cheeky little bugger. Whenever your opponent plays a minion, change its tribe into a demon. I think you could power creep on Chili Willy with this one and make it a 4/5, but the main use of this card is to counteract mech synergies. If the mech you play out on the board becomes a demon, then you can't magnetize to it. And the same goes for synergies with beasts, murlocs, and etc. Against Warlock, this could mess up your opponent's cooldowns with small demons, or actually end up giving them demons that they can buff. But if you're also playing Warlock, the demon removal cards like Sacrificial Pact could be a nice combo. A lot of cool interactions with this card, but not something that's going to swing the game for you. I think it would be best to somehow incentivize players to run this card by making it better. Or maybe an army of mechs that take over the meta would be enough. Well, those are the best Boomsday inspired cards I could find for now. People are really obsessed with making a lot of magnetic mechs, but I'll be back with another one of these once more cards are released and people have decided what cards should actually be in the next expansion. It's been a pleasure as always, and until next time, ta-ta. Dr. Boom, you look like your Pomeranian just beat my Shih Tzu for the top prize at the county fair dog show, and you're too good to come to my after-show pool party. You look like you just took a shit, and I'm that anthropomorphic pile of shit, which you look down on in disgust as if it's my fault for your creation. You look like you're having a You look like you're having a showing for a serious possible homebuyer, and I'm the neighbor with a family making a ruckus in our front yard above ground swimming pool. You look like your butt and butt chin swapped bodily functions.